Hello and welcome to the Point in Progress podcast, episode 29. Your one-stop shop for news, recommendations, and some spicy takes. We're with 5 friends across 3 time zones and 2 countries every week as we discuss all things we love while still thinking critically of them. Welcome, everybody, to the podcast. We got the usual crew here today. I was not supposed to be here today, but some stuff happened, and now I'm here today. So
I'm supposed to be here today.
Yeah. I
We
missed last.
are
I think I missed
glad
last
you
week.
are here.
I think I missed
Yeah.
last week. Yeah, but you guys had an amazing guest to take over. So
They thought you were British. Surprisingly,
apparently that
Yeah.
entire crew thinks I'm British. I don't.
And we-
I don't
You
understand.
are.
I'm
I
pretty
hate
sure
to break it to you.
I'm like just.
I mean,
let's just
half
keep
my
the facade up.
ancestors are from Britain, so
So if you could just develop a British accent for us, and then that way every time we collaborate with them, you just throw them off a little bit.
just throw them up. Be like, wait, are you actually British?
Wait, are you actually British?
Wait. That voice you're hearing is Frank. How you doing, Frank?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. A little tired, but you know, we're here. Then we have. I'm gonna go to Mario last until he figures his life out over there.
Yeah, he's gimped out. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's got that like Neo cyber rave going on there, but it's missing the LED lights, so it's not even. Yeah, you don't have like the dreadlocked hair, so it doesn't work. So it's like you're in like some kind of weird goth limbo.
Oh
God.
man.
Limbo.
Sly, how are you?
I had a really shitty week, but I got a really awesome shirt in the mail. So I got the Anatomy of a Pigeon shirt
Nice.
from our friends at 6 on Indie, and it made my day because I forgot I bought it. So surprise packages are the best. And I'm glad to be here with all of you lovely people, even though I
Yes.
quit the podcast
Regularly.
regularly.
Mario, now that you're back with us.
The fire rises.
Welcome back from the land of the gimps.
How are you?
I'm doing well. I wanted to say, but I was gimped up and I couldn't say it. But it just goes to show how much your friends actually watch the show and hear you talk on a regular basis. That's what makes me laugh every time.
Right?
That's what I'm saying. We can keep up this facade. It'll work.
It's like, oh, you want to be on our show? Yeah, watch it all the time.
Yeah, all the time. We're like that episode was, that was a great episode.
Yeah.
And we have Fee rounding it out. How you doing, Fee?
I am doing well. I was introduced to a magical thing called a pumpkin pie blizzard today, and it has changed my entire
Wait, you've
life.
never had a pumpkin pie blizzard before?
No, not at all. It is
Welcome to the
absolutely
dark
delicious. I don't know if Mario's
Yeah, I don't know if he's
happy or-
excited about it or like hurting because of it.
I'd never heard of a pumpkin pie blizzard before. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Have you never had a
Yeah,
pumpkin
okay,
pie?
There's not a lot of
blizzard?
DQs over here, you
Wait,
know?
so they take a pumpkin
Alright, fair
pie.
enough.
So it's like like spiced pumpkin puree with like crust.
Okay.
But they have the crust, and then they put whipped cream on top, and then they put pumpkin spice seasoning on top
Ooh.
as like a little spice. It is
It's delicious.
That's the
my
whitest thing
mind
I've ever heard of.
is blown. I don't even care. I still
You're
have
not
half of
wrong.
it. I still have half of it in my freezer because after this podcast, I am so I got a large one. So like the large is like the size of like
Face.
We'll keep a blizzard for later. Just
Yo, of course you gotta keep a blizzard. No, hold on. Okay, if we're gonna talk shit about that, we're gonna have problems. All right. Of
Okay.
course you keep a blizzard for later.
okay,
no, you
so
keep
here's
the
what I want.
blizzard because the blizzard's not
You
the
eat the whole
same
thing.
after you
Yeah.
have it.
So it's like
I mean, it's okay.
Here's the size, like what it is. I had like half of it, so
Yeah.
I have half of
You
it for
don't
later.
order a large to eat in one sitting.
Yeah, who
That's
eats a large
ridiculous.
blizzard in one sitting? You fucking psychopath.
Also, if you want me to be on this podcast, you don't want me eating the entire pumpkin pie blizzard because
You'd be
my-
off the rails.
Some people might
off
pay
the
for
rails,
that.
and it was too big.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna. No,
Full ass
no.
meal. bro.
Anyway,
That shit
so
sucks.
that was a thing.
That's a
Anyway,
substitute.
that's how I am. I'm doing. Also, it's a Bones Day, so everything is great. So
What?
What?
It does
So-
not feel like a Bones Day, but it is a Bones Day.
it is a
so
bone. Here's the thing. It's a bone.
It is
Like
a
it felt
Bones
like a
Day.
Bones Day. Okay, so there is
Just
a
don't
pug.
explain.
You know what? You have to find out yourself.
You gotta find out for yourself.
It's either
No,
a
no,
Bones
no,
Day
no. You
or
can't
not
just
a
leave it
Bones
like that.
Day.
What the
I
fuck
don't
is a
think I
Bones
don't
Day?
think I will. I don't think
Okay,
I
you know
will.
what? I will
There's a
explain it.
pug.
No, it's yeah, it's a pug.
TLDR me.
There's a pug. His name is Noodles. He's perfect. He's like 13 years old. And every day you got to check in to see if it's a bones day or a no bones day. And if it's a no bones day, you can like take it easy, like be kind to yourself. And if it's a bones day, then you can be motivated to take on the world and be awesome. It's Noodles the Pug on TikTok. It's
Yeah.
beautiful and incredible. And today's bones day. So let's do this.
So never mind about the Blizzard thing being the whitest thing I've ever heard. That is now.
Yeah, that is the worst thing I've ever heard right there. Holy shit.
There's a lot of talk in like
we're taking advice from a pug, guys.
well,
this
so
isn't.
do you guys know what spoon theory is?
Damn it. I don't have an
I have
insider
no,
account.
I have
So
no idea.
spoon theory is something developed within the disabled community. It talks
Oh
about
yeah, spoons.
quantifying
Yes,
energy
yeah. How many spoons you
by
have?
how many spoons you have.
Yeah,
And like you start out with a different number of spoons.
yeah.
A lot of people are wanting to replace this with bones. So if it's a bones day, you have motivation. If it's not a bones day, you have lower capacity. So it's a big deal.
Okay. What are you gonna say, Fee?
What Sly said.
Okay. Okay.
There you go.
So yeah, this looks like it's a bones day. We're working with bones today. Yeah.
Bones, guys, out there in
Yeah.
the
We have
in the
bones.
in the streaming sphere. You know, what's it like to have bones? You know what I mean? You just wake up with 200 plus bones every day.
Every day?
Every day.
200 plus?
Every
God
day.
damn.
What's it like to live with bones?
That's a lot of bones.
It's a lot of bones.
I'm
But
feeling like a femur today.
but for housekeeping, we got a new episode of Fantasy in Progress that came out 2 days ago. Yesterday. 2 days ago.
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yes.
Days. What are days? What are days?
I'm not
and
even on the show and I know what's going on. Come on.
the embargo lifted for Endwalker for the media tour, so all the new information is out. We did an episode for all the job changes and like just kind of like the main changes that they're gonna be coming into the game, which is very, very exciting. We're about a little over a month away from release of this game.
Mothwatch.
Yeah, you're getting moths, bro.
I have light.
He's
yeah.
just like, bro, can I have some lamp? Oh shit, you streaming over here, man? Can I get some lamp?
For our
Um,
listeners, there is a moth flying around Harv's head every so often, and so now we're just
Moths
watching.
are the best.
If you
I
open up that
love
closet
moths.
behind you, just all
Shout
the
out
moths
to the
come out.
moth.
Although
Nah, man.
that's in there.
I hate
All that's
hate
in
moths. It's on sight.
Guys, is Harv the Mothman?
Clap.
This is why no one knows if he's British or not.
Sexy Mothman?
I don't think I've ever seen
Sexy
Harv in the morning,
Mothman.
so
Harv,
mean,
you know
I
what you
talk
got
to
to do
Harv
near the
every
end of the
morning.
month now.
Harv's got to dress up as a moth, get dusty as shit.
When we do our Halloween episode, if Harv is not Mothman, I will be sorely disappointed. Just know that.
I don't even know what that means.
Good
Oh.
luck.
You've never heard of Mothman?
You'll look it up. You'll
A
look
moth
it up.
and a
It's
man.
The
I'll look
Mothman
that up.
Prophecies. It's a movie from the 20s. You'll
I've
figure
seen
it out.
that. I've heard about
Some
that.
urban legend
Mothman is
shit.
the sexiest cryptid.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Anyway,
And our new review for Deathloop is out by Frank. That got released a little while ago, and it's a really good review. I just checked it out a little while ago. I'm a little late on it.
It's all good.
But no, it's a really, really good review, guys. Go check that out. And then don't pirate Metroid Dread. Apparently,
Yeah.
I saw
Oh, yeah?
this going around this week about Metroid Dread
Yeah.
and
Pay
somebody
people
not
for their
getting
work.
somebody not getting recognized for some stuff on the game.
oh, that also happened as well, but mainly Kotaku put out an article basically saying
Yes.
to pirate Metroid Dread. Don't pirate Metroid Dread.
No.
Don't be a
Say
fucking
it-
asshole.
You guys, you could say it's a Kotak don't.
You
No.
could say it's a dreadful article.
Say that,
It's very
but you
dreadful.
shouldn't.
Instead, pirate Final Fantasy Tactics Advance because you can't find that anywhere. Okay. Continue
No,
on.
don't put it in.
Well, I mean, you can't find it.
I
so.
bought it years ago.
It's
I
fair.
can play
It's
it if
fair
I
game.
want.
I mean, I wouldn't even pirate that. The game's not great.
Oh.
And then Sly is hosting a watch party. What is the watch party for, Sly?
So, yeah, for you watching live, if you're not watching live, too bad you missed out. But tomorrow I'm hosting a watch party at 12 p.m. Pacific. It's for Avalon High, one of the best DComs. One of my very close friends recently got really into King Arthur and all its iterations and has never seen Avalon High, and I'm correcting that by throwing a party. So come hang out. It'll be a blast. We're watching Avalon High tomorrow, Saturday, noon Pacific.
Can I spike the punch?
Heck yes. All right. Now that housekeeping is done, the checkpoint is done. Let's jump into what we've been playing.
Hold on. That's the checkpoint is both of these.
Yes.
It's the whole section.
That is true. That is true. It's
No,
the
that's
entire
housekeeping.
section. Now that was housekeeping. Sorry, that was housekeeping.
That was
Now
housekeeping.
we're gonna talk about what we've been playing.
Keeping
Fee,
you
we're gonna start with you. What have you been playing?
Yeah, what's been going
Oh,
on?
I thought we were
What-
talking about you, because
No,
I also can talk about you.
Oh yeah, I just saw you just type that into the thing.
Wow. Yeah. So shocking. Been playing a small game called Final Fantasy 14. Mostly because
Never heard of it.
it is something that I'm trying to get done, and I was just doing a couple, like, we didn't really do too many main story stuff this week, if I remember correctly. So, or did we? Oh my
No,
goodness.
I think we
don't
just
did
I
it.
think we just
Monday.
did
I think we did
Monday.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Monday
Oh
was
yeah,
the
we
only
did
time.
Monday because Wednesday we recorded. So Monday we did some stuff. Whenever I go to the, like, for people listening and who've played it, every time I go to the Crystarium now, it's just like constant, like, ominous fighting music
And
because we're singing.
anxiety-inducing music.
Yeah, oh, it's just like dude. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, it's really pretty here. Why is everything so scary? And then I'm
Yeah,
like,
we
oh,
left off
yeah.
at a really awkward area, the awkward part.
I'm like, this is not what I should have done. Like, this was the worst idea ever. So I just, like, avoid that area at all costs. I've just been doing some pretty cool, like, just some chill stuff. But yeah, been watching some stuff though. I'm gonna be honest, I have slightly put a hiatus on for Gilmore Girls because I'm getting to a season that I'm not particularly a fan of. So I decided to branch out a
Fair
little
enough.
bit. Yeah, because sometimes you just got to do that. So I've been watching people, like, because it's getting into the spooky season. So I've been watching Bailey Sarian, who does Murder Mystery Makeup Mondays and also Dark History. I've talked about her in the past, but she talks about a lot of really dark, like, history moments in American history that no one talks about because history books in US school system do not want to talk about it. So, for example, the one I listened to this week, how Thomas Edison is a terrible person and how he took all of his ideas from everyone else and just really liked to take licensing and may have killed someone. Multiple people.
You're telling
Mhm.
me Thomas Edison is the Steve Jobs of electricity?
Yes. No, I would say he's more Jeff Bezos. He's just like, I'm gonna take ideas and then, like,
Anybody you think invented something really was just the first one to get a patent and probably stole it from anybody who is not a white man.
Watch
Oh,
Sorry,
watch any
Nikola
kind of
Tesla.
I was gonna say watch any kind of documentary on
Watch
on
The Prestige.
that too. Yeah, Prestige. Yeah, with
Yeah.
Tesla and Edison. It's really really interesting stuff.
yeah. But one of my favorite shows on the internet, and I don't really talk about it here. It was originally a part of BuzzFeed slightly for like one season, but then it switched over when they all left BuzzFeed, thank God, to make their own company on YouTube called Watcher.
Try Guys. Damn.
No, Watcher. So it's
you
It
you were
is not-
describing Try Guys so much.
It's just Try
there.
Guys.
Hey, no, this is not Try Guys. Three, Ryan Bergara, Stephen Lim, sorry, and Shame, Magi went over and made their own thing called The Watcher, and they made a show called Puppet History, where there is a blue puppet, who, and it's like they do just a topic in history, and they do kind of like quizzes, and he has jelly beans, and it's really cute. Unfortunately, the storyline took a dark turn, and I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. I would highly recommend it. Honestly, it's just really fun to like watch people like compete. And obviously Ryan constantly he never wins. He never wins the little trophy at the end. It's just like literally a little blue puppet, and they like it's fun and whimsy, but also really dark at the same time because they talk about things that like murder.
Can you clarify for a second? I'm sorry. Is this a competition show? What?
Slightly.
Okay.
So it's like a puppet show with the professor, and you should get a picture of the like puppet history the professor because he's absolutely adorable, and he has a little like outfit on with a little parcel that has jelly beans in it. And you can ask him every so often for a jelly bean, and you win jelly bean points.
I feel like I'm
Like
in
when you
the office.
I swear this is a show.
I feel like I'm in the doctor's office where I go do something. Is that him? Is that him?
One
He looks.
second.
He looks
Yeah!
like. He looks like. He looks like fucking the Cookie Monster's grandpa.
But he's so cute. Like there's oh my god.
I mean, I can't say you're wrong.
I mean, yeah.
Like
So
Cookie
that's
Monster took a different road, you know, didn't find the cookies.
yeah, like they talked about the fact that during the Revolutionary War in the US, there was actually a pandemic going on at the time. And the US almost didn't become the US because of this pandemic and a bunch of people who didn't want to follow the health authority telling them to do certain things, like keep away from each other.
Checks
And
out.
it's just
Very
And
on
it's-
brand.
and so you like essentially the premise of the show, he asks questions and it's in a usually like an A, B, and C format. And if you guess correctly, you win jelly bean points. And if you make really mean comments to the professor, or if you're Ryan Bergara, you just lose points randomly every so often. And they have like different
Fair enough.
sketches, so they'll be like, okay, like let's see who like if you got the answer right with a little puppet show. So he'll have like little cutouts of characters from that particular moment. Like he might have like George Washington be like, I can't believe that we did this. And it's supposed to be like funny, but also educational at the same time. And I personally really like it because it's very funny and a play on it. It almost gives me like the drunk history vibes if you've ever watched that before. And so it's just very comical. And there is a subplot of a genie and the professor hating the genie. Also, there's a bunch of other things that are going at the same time. And then at the end, there's a musical number by one of the things in the show. For example, there's been one where a canoe paddle sang a song about going down the river and then becoming a weapon. Really fun times. I know this sounds like an absolute
Right.
acid trip. Very good show though. Would highly recommend it if you want something lighthearted. Would recommend starting from season 1 and then going to season 3 because there you can watch it out of order, but season 3 there is a little bit of a subplot going on. And it makes more sense. If you ever watched anything by the Ryan Bergara and like Shane, like Ryan and Shane, they also do things like Unsolved with BuzzFeed, which was a very great series that's now ending because they left BuzzFeed shockingly, and they yeah. So that's me talking about that, and then I started the new season of You today, and that's been a roller coaster and a half, and I've only seen 3 episodes, which
Yeah, I got through the first 3 and then saw the content warning for episode 4 and went, not for me today.
yeah,
I have no idea what the show's about.
So
It's about a murderer. That's all you need to know.
yeah, it's about a
Fee,
guy.
you can elaborate, but that's the general premise.
I mean, that is technically the general premise. So it's about a guy named Joe who had a very difficult upbringing.
It's
His
the dude from God, what's the fucking show?
Gilmore Girls, not Gilmore Girls. Gossip
No,
Girl.
Gossip Girl. Gossip Girl.
So it's Penn Badgley is the character. He had a terrible upbringing, and then ended up working at a store, like a bookstore, and then we find out later on that he kind of has this like very first season he has an obsession with a girl because she walked into his bookstore and he's just like consistently through the show there's a like internal dialogue of him talking about a specific person or about himself, but the majority of the time he's just like you're the one who I've been looking for, etc., etc. Usually this is super psychotic and definitely do not recommend anyone ever do the things that ever happen in the show, and do not murder's bad,
Murder is bad. I think we can agree on
It's just
that.
a little bit. A little
Locking
bit.
people
Just
up
a little
in
bit.
a glass, a soundproof glass case in a basement, kind of bad. Kind of
Not
Dextery.
great.
I'm not
Just
great.
kinda.
But yeah, the new season, he has married slightly somewhat of his soulmate, Love, and they had a kid. And that's like, I'm not going to spoil it for anyone because I know a few of you here haven't watched it. There are definitely some mature subject matter and it escalates quite quickly. I feel like season 3 probably has escalated the fastest out of the 3 seasons. Because it went from like a slow burn, season 2 was a redemption slow burn, and then the first episode of season 3 was just like, let's go all
We're
out.
going there. Yeah.
We're going there.
Katherine Gallagher, who is, yes, the daughter of Peter Gallagher, very famous Broadway actor, is in the first season. She's awesome. I love her to pieces. Daniel Durant, famous deaf actor, is in the second season. I don't know anybody I care about in the third season, so we'll see how long I stick around for it.
I was just gonna
But
say
that's a thing that came out today.
I would say the girl in it is the girl from Bly Manor and also Conning on Hill House. So that's
Yeah.
how I recognized her. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know she was on the show because I love her
Right.
for what she does on those shows.
Here's the
for
thing.
her.
I hate her with a burning passion in the show, but that's how I know she's a good actress, because I absolutely despise her.
Are you watching the third season right now?
I am.
It
Okay.
just came out, yeah.
It
Have
just
you
came out?
watched?
I've
you-
never seen the show in my entire life.
Okay,
You?
well,
It's
And
just called
this-
You, right?
Yeah.
You.
Yeah, I just call you.
It's
And
a
I've
Netflix
seen it.
show.
I've seen it on Netflix a few
It
times.
was a Lifetime show or something, right? And it got
I'll
canceled.
be right back.
And then it got brought back, if I'm not mistaken.
Don't know. I honestly,
No
I
idea.
do not know. I've
I'll
only
look it
ever
up,
known
yeah.
it as a Netflix show. But I've personally, like, I grew up watching Gossip Girl, so seeing.
I hadn't seen Gossip Girl when I watched the first 2 seasons, and now I can't see him as anything other than Dan during this. And man, that's a turn.
It's difficult time, especially if you know what happens with Gossip Girl. Knowing you, and Joe, it's a weird turn.
So I'm right.
Weird.
I am right.
It is. It was
Lifetime had the first season. Nobody watched it on Lifetime. Well, I'm sorry. A lot of people actually. It was on, and then put on Netflix. People watched it on Netflix. Netflix was like, okay, we're gonna do season 2 and season 3.
Yeah, because season 3 is done with WB.
Yeah.
Because WB's name's all over that freaking show.
For sure.
I want to watch this. I like the thrillers. I'm a huge thriller
Okay,
fan.
Harv, I am more than
Oh.
happy to watch.
I love
it with
Michael
you.
Jackson's Thriller.
Yes, that too. That
is-
too.
It is a really good show. Would highly recommend it. And like I said, there are definitely some themes, but yeah. If you want a thriller this season, and especially with season 3 just coming out, I watched season 1 in a day and a half, and did the same with season 2. I don't think I'm gonna have mentally the time to do that with season 3, but I'm very excited to get through it all.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of American Psycho, and just sort of the aspects of it. But yeah, that's interesting.
Again, Katherine Gallagher is the love of my life and very good in this.
All right. Sorry, I was looking at the Netflix thing for that. Frank, what have you been playing?
I just been
And
playing
slash
some Rainbow
doing.
Six. I just playing some Rainbow Six, man. I've been playing some Rainbow Six. We already know about the Rainbow Six shenanigans. If you follow me on Twitter, I randomly just post clips of that. Anyway, I've been rewatching Silicon Valley, just because.
So Fee and
We
I
talked
are
about
going
it.
through the first season right now. I think we're about 5 episodes in. 6 episodes in.
Yes.
of
What's
it.
your favorite quote so far that you've seen, Fee, on that show? Mine is like, let me tell you a story. Choke on my balls.
Yeah. Honestly,
Jesus
I
Christ.
was gonna say that's probably in my top like 5. I don't know, just like it's been a few weeks since I even watched it, but I'm very excited to watch more because
It's
as
good.
someone who works for a tech company and with one of the clients being essentially considered a startup, it doesn't go to that extreme, but it's kind of funny to because a lot of it's
Yeah.
really interesting to see overall.
I love the show purely just because one of my main pet peeves with anything that involves tech or anything like that is being fucking pandered to. I
Yeah.
absolutely fucking hate it when they shoehorn dumb little quotes here and there that don't even make sense if you're actually in the tech world. Big Bang Theory. But
They're so
this
bad
show
at that.
treats tech in a very different way, and it treats tech in a very realistic way. And I really love that they do that, but they also do it with humor. Like
And the fact that like Huli is like the base is like Amazon
yeah. Funny
in
enough,
their
you
own
can.
way.
There's a Huli website. If you look up Huli on Google, it's the first thing that comes up. You can. There's an actual website. And
Yeah.
but yeah, I love that. I love it. I think my favorite episode of the full of that season is when Guilfoyle tries to convince what's his name, Dinesh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dinesh,
that his girlfriend wants to fuck him.
yeah.
The whole episode.
Like, why would you want to do that?
The whole episode, he's just like, do I really want to fuck his girlfriend?
My and the-
You'll see, Fee. It's hilarious. If you haven't seen that episode already, it's hilarious.
there's a episode. I think it's the last episode. I'm not gonna spoil much, but
The TechCrunch one? Are you talking about the TechCrunch
yeah, when they're trying to
one?
solve an
Yeah.
equation.
Yeah, yeah.
That equation is
That was
hilarious.
going in my head. That was in my
Yeah.
head. I can't wait.
Yeah.
till
He probably
Fee
already
watches
knows
that.
about that one, but I won't say it.
Yeah, I don't want to say it either, but the equation joke is my favorite. And they have an actual
that's
answer.
honestly-
They have a real answer.
Isn't that what basically got them a nomination
that
somewhere?
gave him an Emmy, I think, was
Yeah.
that episode.
That equation. But yeah, no, I love that show. I love that show purely just because it doesn't feel like the tech stuff is shoehorned in. It always feels like it's the right thing to put in that context. Like they mentioned Mass Effect 3 at some point. Like a guy is the ending of Mass Effect 3 just to make it seem how fucking pointless those endings are. And
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah,
it
that's
was-
a good joke.
It was in one of like the first couple episodes of the show.
Yeah, like the guy's like a guy is useless, so they mentioned Mass Effect 3's endings, which are fucking useless. So it's like, yeah, good. That's a good joke.
So one of the guys that steals the show for me is the assistant. I forgot what his name was. He comes from Huli and he joins the company.
Kyle?
Oh fuck, he has a name. No, they renamed him.
Jared.
Jared. Yeah, they call him.
Jared is
He has a name,
the
but they
best
call him
character.
Jared.
Yeah. Yeah, they actually says his name in like the third episode or something like that, but they just keep calling him Jared.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a great show. I can't wait until we keep watching it. And the thing is, like, I feel like I'm struggling between getting Fee to watch that show and Seinfeld since they're both on Netflix now.
Oh, watch
Well,
Silicon
one's on
Valley
Netflix.
first.
You can
Yeah, and then I was
finish
like, you know
Silicon
what?
Valley
Yeah,
before
I was
you
gonna say
finish
let's just
Seinfeld.
finish Silicon Valley first and then go into Seinfeld because
Yeah.
Seinfeld is also a show about nothing. So
You can
watch it
literally
anytime.
watch any episode of Seinfeld and it does not matter. Like you can
Yeah,
just
exactly.
jump in at any time.
That show is built for just like random reruns on TV. That's why it probably has been so popular.
That's how I
honestly.
watched it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and then I've been 3D printing some stuff. I actually have
Ooh, show and tell.
my 3D printed Deathstroke helmet. I don't know if you got, I don't know if it's in frame or not. I'm
Yeah,
looking
yeah,
at
you
the
got it.
Discord version.
Yeah, you good.
Yeah, it's done. I'm just kind of sanding it. So as you see, this side is sanded. It's nice and smooth. This side is not sanded. And I'm also working on Fee's mask, but it's in the other room, so I'm not going to go. But yeah, it's been a blast.
Fee's
Heck.
making a pouty face for the audio
I'm sorry.
listeners.
Yeah, it's literally sitting on my table in the other room. But yeah,
Heck.
I'm working on that this week, so we'll see how that goes.
Heck yes, Mario. I'm gonna get to you in a second. 'Cause
Sure.
You're gonna go right before I am.
Okay.
But no, you can go. You can go at the very end because I know you have words. So we're gonna go.
We're
Sly.
fighting. We're fighting John
Do
Carpenter
I
today.
not have words?
No, but he's
Do I
got
not get words?
he's got like fighting words.
I left
Like, he's about to-
his thing out specifically because I knew Mario was going to bring it up. So we're going to talk about that fucking movie. But anyway,
All right. Yeah, so I've been talking about Leverage for the past couple episodes. I finally finished the original series. It was incredible. I loved every second of it. It was amazing. I just started Redemption. Episode 1 made me cry within the first 3 minutes. It was beautiful. I'm about 5 episodes into Redemption, having a blast, loving them all so dearly. A new podcast that I've been really excited for came out this week. It's called Modern Muckraker. It's by Mike Schubert, who does Potterless and The Newest Olympian, and it's like a mock investigative journalist type show. It's very funny. It's asking really fun questions. And the first episode came out this week, so I'm really excited about that. It's awesome so far. And then comics. What have I been reading? I've been reading Eternals, so the 2006 Neil Gaiman story and the 2008 series right after it. I like the story of Eternals. The art is really pretty, but I have a bone to pick with whoever decided the goddamn fonts in both of these series. I'm gonna go on a rant. I'm sorry. So originally, there's a country that's like vaguely Slavic in these series, right? And instead of doing the normal typical comics thing where they put it in brackets and say translated, these bitches decided to combine two fucking different alphabets to make it look aesthetically more Slavic. And oh boy, is that a pain in the goddamn ass to read, because my brain is trying to read one alphabet as that alphabet and another alphabet as that alphabet instead of being able to process the shape of the word that they're trying to write, and it's a nightmare. Whoever did this, I hate you. It was a horrible choice. I cannot fathom whose idea it was, cuz like they're taking these letters that like don't make the sounds that they want them to make and smushing them in the middle of words. Oh my gosh. It's awful. And then there's another font when they're like speaking to the like celestials or whatever that's also totally not dyslexic friendly, which is fine. I get it. Like that's like the font you wanted to use. Fine. But really, guys, really combining two different fucking alphabets for the aesthetic.
Man,
So I'm reading those, but it's taking me a long time because yeah.
you'd really hate Snyder's Batman run because they do so many unique things with the
I
font
did
and text and
not
like that.
read Snyder's Batman run.
That's what I'm saying. You would
Um,
hate that because they do so many different things with the font and the way like people talk and
I
stuff like
don't
that.
mind stylistic font. I don't mind it. If it's done like again, I'm saying they have two different instances that's hard for me to read. One of it's stylistic font. No problem with that. It's difficult for me. It's a challenge for me to process. That's a me problem. The one where they're writing words that are gibberish for the aesthetics, that's a them problem. Because they're like using the characters from like Russian, like the Russian F, which is like an O with a line through it, is what it looks like, as an O, but my brain's reading it as an F, or like an E, which is like a backwards N. They're using that as an N, or like the ch, which looks like, I guess, kind of, it looks like a 4, but they're using it as a Y. But my brain goes ch whenever I see it, and it makes no sense. It's driving me up a wall. That's my rant for the week. Don't combine alphabets within words.
That is fair. That is fair.
Mhm.
I would be kind of confused.
Um,
It would be like, wait, what?
Yeah. Other than that, Eternals, pretty good.
That movie is coming out soon, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah,
November.
it's coming out
Very
in
soon.
November.
Yeah, so in a month.
I'm
Yeah.
very excited. Lauren Ridloff is another love of my life, and I'm so excited for her to be in it. She's a deaf woman of color, and she's in a Marvel movie, and that's really awesome, and she's really talented. And I scream every time I see her in an Eternals commercial, and I love her.
Salma Hayek is also a love of my life, and I can't wait to see.
Oh,
Salma
shout out to
Hayek.
Salma Hayek.
Yeah, yeah. Latinos represent.
You know, also shout out to Angelina Jolie. Why not? Just throw it out there.
Softball it.
Fuck it. Also,
Softball
shout
it.
out to the guy.
My
Also,
Also,
favorite.
shout out to that Scottish guy who plays basically Superman in this movie. He was in The Bodyguard. I think the show was called. It was a
Yeah.
pretty
Talking
decent
about
show.
the guy from Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
I don't know. I barely
Yeah.
watch Game of Thrones,
Stark.
but like,
Yeah.
yeah, that
Shout
guy.
out to Kumail Nanjiani.
Kumail Nanjiani for
That-
getting swole.
Yeah.
That guy says ma'am, but when he says ma'am, he says mum. So people were very confused when The Bodyguard came out because they thought that was his mom.
I mean, don't they usually do that in the UK?
Yeah,
People call
I
him mum?
didn't look at it and go, wow, he's saying mum. But
Not
people were like going on
ma'am.
Twitter when the show
They
came
say
out.
mum for mom.
No,
Okay,
they say
ma'am
well
versus
they're
ma'am.
saying ma'am, but he's saying like ma'am. Like it sounds like mum.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I
it
mean, when he
sounds
says
like
it.
mum. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I
don't
know everybody
I don't
calls
know
the
how
queen
words
mum.
sound.
He was
Everybody
playing
calls her
American
boss
in
mom.
that, right? Or no?
Yeah.
Was he playing American in that show? Doesn't matter.
No, he was just
He was-
straight up Scottish self.
Cool.
All
While we're
right.
shouting out, shout out to Lake Wilcox.
You know, while we're actually here, just shout out to Ice Mountain.
Shout out
For
to
water.
Christian Kane.
Shout out to Samsung for your phones.
Shout out for Tremors.
Shout out to
Okay, enough. Enough.
Now he's looking around his room.
shout out to King's Done for your glasses repair kit.
Okay.
All right, Mario.
Shout
Oh, no,
out
before
to
we
my
get to Mario,
dinner.
before
There
we
you
get to Mario, I'm gonna talk about what I've been playing this week. Obviously Final Fantasy 14. We were doing Shadowbringers. It's a lot of fun. We're getting through the story. We're almost done with the last expansion for the base game, and I think we are going to hit the mark for finishing this expansion before the next one comes out.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. And then
I just made the mistake of opening our general chat.
Oh no.
And then I've been playing a lot of New World still. I don't know why, but here I
Why
am.
not?
I've played about 200 hours now, by the way, of New World.
Jesus Christ.
I can't tell if you actually like this game or if you just like
Well,
tolerate
he's
it.
been playing
I
with friends.
tolerate it. Yes.
Like,
I don't particularly like the game. I like playing with friends. I play with Lauren and Joey from Kind of Funny. I played with both of them. And it's a lot of fun. Like, it's great. And because like we were trying to play games together, we finally can, and we're like questing, we're doing all this kind of shit. It's a lot of fun. The game itself is very, very, very flawed. There is a lot of problems with this game. Mainly because there are 3 quest formats in this entire game. One is go kill 15 of these things. Another one is go find 7 of these things
Yeah.
in the chest. And then the third one is go fight an elite monster. That is it. That is the amount of quest variation in this entire game. You're
that is
doing
not
that
fun.
for 300 hours.
Yeah, none of that sounds
Why?
really fun.
That's it. That's all you're doing. For people like me that have like this OCD or that, Frank, is that you doing your stiletto thing?
Oh, the clicking?
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, that's me. I have
Okay.
a Rubik's Cube.
I didn't even
Sorry.
hear that. Oh my god.
I was like, oh man, I've been hearing.
I
that
heard
all
it too, but I
podcast.
was just like, I thought it was just crackling of a
I thought
microphone
it
or
was your
something.
stiletto.
No.
If
Oh,
you
sorry.
hear anything weird, it's me picking locks or playing with Rubik's cubes.
Okay,
Hear my
'cause I was like-
stiletto.
I was like, I've been hearing it for the last like 20 minutes.
Yeah, you
Just
can't
make
hear my
sure to
stiletto.
Just make sure to mute it while we're doing that.
We're just gonna bypass Sly becoming a master criminal.
With the Rubik's
Yeah,
Cube.
we're just
Why
gonna,
am I becoming a master criminal?
I love how
Watching
Sly's the
Leverage?
master criminal when Harv thought it was my fucking knife.
My knife is
But-
on the bed. It's not on my desk.
But yeah, so that is pretty much the gist of this game. There is no story whatsoever in this game. Factions, I don't like. Okay, so in this game, your inventory is managed depending on who has control, which faction has control in which area. So there's 3 colors: there's green, yellow, and purple. We're green. And if we have like 6 different areas, I can look in those different areas where like my storage is and like cherry pick the shit that I want out of it. Obviously it costs money to cherry pick shit out of it, but it's annoying, but it is what it is. If your faction loses a section, you are totally cut off from that storage completely until you go there and grab your shit. It is stupid. I hate it, and I hate PvP because it's all based off of PvP.
Yeah.
And PvP is just annoying, especially when a game like it's so intrinsically tied to PvP. So it is something that is starting to weigh on me and it's starting to like really kind of grind me down, if I'm being completely honest.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, I don't know how much I have left in this game at this point.
That faction system's so weird. Because faction systems in games are just weird in general. Because 9 times out of 10, if somebody's starting a brand new game and they just look at who's the winning biggest faction, they'll just choose the
Join
winning
that
biggest
game.
faction.
They'll join that action.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and that faction will
Exactly.
just keep getting bigger because they're just the biggest. And
Yeah.
it makes it almost impossible for anybody else to catch up. Like that, faction systems in video games don't ever really work out well. So it baffles me why they would put like a system that's so heavily rooted in PvP into a game like New World, where
Yeah.
like
every auction house or trading post, they call them in this game, they're all individually tied to each city, which is also a problem, right? If you want to put something up in an auction house, there's only 3 main cities that everybody goes to. The other ones are just ancillary ones where nobody posts anything. Because like everybody's gonna post where everybody else is going to be, right? So why not keep it a actual like centralized trading post where it just goes through everything? It's just these little things that are really starting to hit me. But like that OCD is there where like you see a little circle and you want to fill the ring every single time to get that level for like mining and crafting and gathering and all that kind of stuff, right? Like that's there. But like I don't know how, like, sure, I put in 200 hours. I've got my money's worth out of this fucking game. I can say that for sure.
As long as you put it like for at least like RPGs and MMOs, as long as you're getting the hours back as what you put in, then you're basically golden.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where I'm gonna hit max level and I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do in this game.
You're just gonna be a Chad, dude.
I don't know because I'm 3 levels away now. I'm 57. 60 is the max level, and I was like, sure. Like this is what was the point of getting to 60? That's where I have the problem. And there's no end game for PVE in this game, so it's all PvP based. But we'll see. We'll see.
Gotta live that Rust life.
But like I said, in 6 months, this game is going to be very different, and I'm hoping that I think I'll probably do like this weekend or maybe like the next week or so, and then be done with it, and then just wait 6 months and see where this game is.
Yeah, it has that unique benefit of you buy it once and you don't really have to buy it again. From what I hear, I don't know how that's going to work with like DLCs and stuff like that later on down the road, like way later on down the road. But like, it has that benefit of just like, hey, you know, you paid 60, you got as far as you did. Now you just got to wait for the extra free content to drop.
Yeah, I will see if it's going to be free. They'll probably do like minor free stuff, but there's a lot of bugs. There's a lot of bugs in this game. It is ridiculous that this game came out the way that it did. Like there's a bug where sometimes you can't even split your gear, like you can't even split your items. There's a bug where like if you only want 35 items, like say you have 100 hides in your storage and you want 20 of them, it charges you for the entire thing. So it like charges you like 100 gold to bring out just 35 things out of it. It's like there's a lot of these little bugs and a lot of little annoyances. So we're getting there. We're getting there.
Shout out to Fee for fucking BK stackering her entire microphone.
If you move your microphone, Fee, will it all fall?
Oh yeah, it's done.
Yeah. We
I can't wait.
Think that one through,
you're gonna bump it at some point, and it's all gonna tumble down.
And then she's gonna be like, "Ah!"
It's like Jenga.
And then I've been playing Jet. I've pretty much almost finished that game. My review's gonna be out soon. Since the Endwalker stuff came out, that's been my main priority. It's a game. That's all I can really say right now.
It's a game.
It's a video game. I can't wait to see your review on it.
I'm hoping it. It comes all together at the end, but your boy's not feeling it. But you know what? I will convey all that stuff once the review comes out this week. So yeah.
Speaking of not feeling it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now let's go to Mario. Mario, what do you got? What you got?
I guess we can go straight there. I was gonna save it to you, but I think it makes sense to go there now. So I am a huge horror movie fan. I've been watching a lot of horror movies this whole month, And Frank, did we see Halloween 2018 together? I don't
Yes,
remember. We did, right?
We went to the theater. That's why I was literally going to text you. Do you want to go see Halloween Kills in theaters?
Yeah.
And I'm glad we didn't.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't. So, of course, yeah, we saw the movie. I absolutely adore the sort of sequel remake of the 2018 Halloween, which takes place basically. Think of the Halloween series is the Legend of Zelda of horror movies, because there's so many
fucking weird.
timelines and different directions you can go to, and it's absolutely ridiculous. So we're in another new timeline of the original Halloween movie, and that's it. Then 2018, then Halloween Kills takes place right after. So you can totally disregard every of the other movies. There's some nice nods from the original movies that are in there, like little tidbits of things. But you can enjoy this without knowing anything. And so, really had a great time with 2018. Thought they did a really great story about talking about these women dealing with trauma and how they surpass it. Very similar to sort of like a Me Too movement kind of deal. Very similar to what horror is about right now, which is having somewhat of a constructive message about society and carrying forward. So they decided to double that down on that with this one about mob mentality and what it takes to just rile up a group of people to do something terrible. And it ends up being a really fucking terrible movie called Halloween Kills. And I watched this on Peacock. Of course, you can watch it in the theaters, or you can watch it for $4.99 with a Peacock subscription, which also gives you The Office. So that's something. But yeah, this movie to me fumbles the ball so heavily of what they established in that last one to try to establish yet another message on top of it, and not fulfilling anything that has to do with being a Halloween movie, and just totally just goes off the rails. There are scenes in this movie that are completely unnecessary. Michael Myers is probably in this movie, if I had to guess, a total of 10 minutes.
Yeah, I would say 15.
15?
I would honestly say a solid 15. Yes.
Really?
It's a 2-hour-long movie, by the way. It's hour 45 minutes.
2 hour long.
They just pop at the end, or at the very beginning, and then at the very end.
You know,
I mean,
if you want to watch by the way, I did a whole video on this. It is on my YouTube channel, that Rivera, where I literally go 15 minutes nonstop ranting. Frank texts me twice in the video, and I make fun of him for it during the video. It's pretty funny. Frank, I probably hasn't seen this part of the video.
Yeah.
But
I stopped watching when I was like getting through the movie.
You were texting me, and I was like, "Frank, shut the fuck up!" And I kept going because I was so angry. But yeah, so it does some interesting things, and I think that it does have some caveats about the original movie that came before in terms of dealing with the consequences of what just happened, because it literally, the movie takes place during and a little bit after the last one, and it continues the night of that same Halloween. And fundamentally, I think that there are just scenes in here that are just completely unnecessary. They follow tropes in horror movies that are, totally outdated to this point, and just doubled down on them only because they need to fill out a certain part of the cast just so they're cannon fodder to be killed. And there are characters that don't need to be there. Some of them are comedians that tell stupid jokes that are not funny. There's two characters named Big John and Little John. Fucking terrible.
Somebody just looks at the camera at some point and goes, "What's the deal with airline food?" And then just gets gatted.
Basically.
Wait, what?
No, it's a joke. It's a joke. That was a joke.
Okay.
That is actually,
that is the quality.
Wait a second.
That is the quality of comedy. There's literally a segment
it's that level though.
There's a segment in the movie that literally could have been straight pulled from a Halloween episode of Modern Family, because it looked that way, the way that the cinematography in the first one is grounded, fantastic. There's some great sequences in the first one. There's the floodlight scene with, Michael Myers playing basically, hide and go seek with this kid. It's freaking awesome. There's like none of that in this movie. It's completely all thrills and stuff. Just like, see how Michael Myers can just snap a neck or push a push a thing through a camera. Like, that's all it is. There are certain elements that I do like in it, and I feel that I could cut a better movie by just removing things. If I simply remove things and cut down the runtime, I probably will. Because I mean,
how dare you, man?
Here's the other big thing too.
Yeah,
and I think this should be addressed for people who are maybe going to go see this movie. If you like Jamie Lee Curtis in the last movie, she is, and it's not Jamie Lee Curtis's fault in any way, but she's utterly fucking useless in this movie, and they didn't write basically anything for her to do. She's just kind of there.
It's because
there's a reason but it's a shitty reason.
It's because this is the middle chapter of of supposedly a trilogy that I don't think was well planned out. I think they had a great idea for a 2018 film, got to the end and was like, hey, here's another bag of money. Could you do 2 more for us? And then they try to conceive this sort of trilogy, and I just don't think they handled it well, especially with, these guys that did this movie come from comedy. And if you watch the last one, there's some great comedy bits in it that I think are just fine. They fit in their certain aspects. The first movie is kind of funny. But yeah, I just think that they completely fumbled every step of the way of what they were trying to do with this film. Is it the worst Halloween movie? No, it's not. There are way worse ones. Halloween Resurrection.
Halloween 4 is definitely terrible.
I like Halloween 4 though. I like Halloween 4 and 5. 6 is the one I don't like. That's the mystical fucking true druid.
I think it might be
shit.
6 I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, when Tommy Doyle was played by what's his face? Ant-Man. Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd plays a character in 6. And that movie cut the hell because they didn't have a budget and a script. But
Shout out to
there's
Paul Rudd.
2 different versions of that movie.
There's
think,
2 different versions of that movie, and ultimately it's just trash. But like I said, this is not by far the worst Halloween film. If you want to obviously enjoy it, so that way you can see how they're going to conclude it with ends, by all means. I was not happy with how this one ended. And I personally am not that looking forward to how they're going to conclude it, which supposedly will be a 4-year jump.
That is so weird to me.
Yeah,
I will say this too. The biggest weird, this movie, it feels like they didn't really. It has the Star Wars problem. I feel where the first movie starts really strong, and the second movie kind of just throws away everything the first movie did and just kind of goes on their own way a little bit, because. If anybody who watched the first Halloween movie remembers, Laurie was like an outcast. People don't want to remember Laurie Strode. Her own family doesn't even want to remember Laurie Strode. Nobody gives a shit about the Halloween murders that happened. It's kind of become like an urban legend at this point, right? And then this movie starts off with literally people who were like, I was out back taking a shit while Michael Myers killed my neighbor. And it's like, where the fuck were you people in the first movie? Now all of a sudden we're having AA meetings about Michael Myers in a comedy club? You outcasted Laurie, but apparently everybody in the town really did give a shit about Michael Myers. So it's what the fuck was the point of the first movie then?
That is, I will say I agree with Frank a little bit on there. Those characters are the characters from the original Halloween film.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about them.
I know that you don't, but there's a reason why they would care. But it's everybody else. You're right. The way that they talked about Laurie in the first movie was very much what you're saying. They thought she was crazy after a certain point because she is militarized. She has a whole facility that she has lawed off with mannequins and shit, and seems weird. But then by the end of this one, it's we're doing this for you, Laurie. We're all here for Laurie Strode,
and they do the weird Halloween 2 thing. Where it all takes place in the hospital, but Michael's nowhere near anything happening going on. It's such a weird movie because he's not in the movie as much as you would think.
No, I couldn't tell you what he's doing.
Yeah, I can't tell you what Michael was doing that whole movie because, to be honest with you, he was just kind of doing Michael Myers things in the background while everybody else was pretending he was at this hospital for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm done talking about it. It's fucking bad. If you want to see what I have to say, it's on.
You know what fucked me up when I was young?
What'd you fuck?
Friday the 13th, the NES game.
Hell yeah,
that game's fucking scary though. That soundtrack is scary. Yeah. That fucking NES tune for Jason is absolutely terrifying.
Especially during night when you walk into one of the homes and he just pops up on the screen. You're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, I'm fucking.
It's a terrible game though, but
terrible game.
Fucking great theme though.
Yeah,
but if you do want to watch a good John Carpenter movie, I do recommend John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness, which I literally watched before we started this podcast because I wanted to watch a Carpenter movie that I have not seen yet. And this is on Peacock because, I have to get some use out of this fucking service. I was
going to say, everything's on Peacock. This podcast is not sponsored, but should be sponsored by Peacock.
Sponsored by Peacock. Gets Peacock for $4.99. You get WWE pay-per-views and some shit.
Don't do it.
No, just put a picture of a peacock right here.
There you go. Or just DM me. I'll give you my Peacock login. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, I thought you were going somewhere else.
Going to jail. No,
Yeah, pirate Halloween Kills. If you're gonna pirate anything,
Damn.
no, I'm not saying that either. I'm not saying that either. But John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness is available on Peacock. Sadly, though, even though I pay the $4.99, it still has ads, which is fucking stupid.
That's so stupid. I
it's
don't
so
get why
dumb.
people do that. Like there's other
Wait.
company that does that too, right?
Hulu does
another
it.
one?
Hulu.
Yeah, Hulu
does it. HBO does it. I think
get
too,
the
as well.
caveat of Hulu because it's sort of like, well, they don't do it during movies. They only do it really during TV shows, which is because it's like, all right, the show is the next day on your service. Like, okay, I get that. That's fine. This is like, it's an old ass movie from the 70s or 80s. And I'm like, why am I getting ads in the middle of this? It's totally ruining the tension.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to yell about services with ads.
Okay.
I've been watching Leverage and Leverage Redemption, as I've been talking about for weeks, right? The only place this is available streaming is on IMDb TV via Prime Video. And IMDb TV, their whole thing is it's always free. You can't pay for it, but it has ads. I'm like, I don't care if it's free. I will pay to remove the ads. And it's the most infuriating thing in the goddamn world. I will give you my money. I am willing to give you my money.
I
don't
be like
want to
that,
see
though.
ads.
I pay.
It really should not be like that, though. It should. If you're paying for a service, it should already come without. You're already paying for the service. Like, why would I have to pay
Well, it's
extra
a
to
free
remove
service.
ads?
I can see
Well,
the IMDb thing
kind
because
of.
it is a free service.
It's through Prime. But, like, you physically
Well, you're paying for
cannot
Prime.
give them money.
Like Amazon's $1 billion corporation. They can't give IMDb just a little bit off the top just
Amazon-
to not have ads.
Amazon
fuck?
already makes you watch ads at the beginning of your show, even though you pay for Prime Video.
Exactly.
That is true.
Fuck
Hey,
this shit.
people pay taxes because of Amazon and New World.
So yeah, I pay for
property
YouTube. I pay YouTube to not see ads because I hate ads on YouTube, and YouTube is a far better experience without ads.
YouTube Premium is great.
It's
I
I
haven't
am
seen
now
ads in years.
I've been converted.
Yeah, I love it.
It is a little annoying when I'm watching a YouTube video though, and then I close YouTube and it still keeps going. That's a little annoying.
That is
but,
a
you
little
know.
annoying. Yeah, that is a little annoying. Anyways,
Get
Prince
used to
of,
it.
Prince of Darkness. Shut up,
wait,
Prince of Darkness.
Yeah, well, wait, hold on. We're still talking about Prince of Darkness, aren't we?
I didn't even get to say what the movie's about.
Christ.
About John Carpenter looking like the fucking crypt keeper.
No, that's
he
body
always
bags. Prince of Darkness is a horror movie that is about what if science and religion were the same thing. And basically, it is about the devil. The son of the devil is a goo monster that spits in your mouth and makes you into one of his minions. And then he's trying to go into the mirror world to bring back his father. That's what the fucking movie's about.
I can see why you like this movie.
This movie's
you would
fucking
like a goo
awesome.
You would love a
There's-
goo
there's
monster.
little
It shoots
kinky
into your
stuff
mouth.
This
happening in that
movie,
one.
this movie's fucking awesome. And the reason is because of the cast, the music, because it's John Carpenter. It stars major hit people from different John Carpenter films, like the main character from Big Trouble in Little China and the doctor from Halloween.
I like how you can name every character and only no, you can't name every character, but you only know John Carpenter.
John Carpenter's
the only name I've heard.
Alice Cooper's in this movie. Does that help? Alice Cooper's
There
in
we
this
go.
movie as well. But it's a fun movie to watch. It basically is a big fest of just graphic gore mixed in with religious things that are being tormented by science students. It's great. Just watch it. It's on Peacock. But the real thing I really wanted to talk about, you did that face and I immediately did it. The real thing I want to talk about though is Ice Nine Kills released a new album today, and I become a recent fan because
I legit when I read that it's a 9 Inch Nails.
yes, it was a 9 Inch Nails album. No, Ice Nine Kills is a hardcore band that basically all their
Led
songs
by John Carpenter.
led by John Carpenter. All their songs are basically themed after horror movies. So they do a lot of videos, and they did a lot of videos during the year this year, and featuring like a Chucky inspired one, a Resident Evil inspired one. Of course, they started off with a American Psycho, and then they just did a Animal. Oh my God, what's the name of that film? Animal something. Pet Cemetery.
Crossing.
Pet Cemetery. And they do really excellent recreations and really fantastic music, to be honest with you. They have some really great riffs. If you're sort of familiar with like bands like Avenged Sevenfold, it sounds like that, but in the style of like this horror element. And they so well in the themes. Fee also listens to them as well, right?
I do.
She's an expert. So you listen to them as well?
Yeah, Fee showed us the Resident Evil one. It was pretty good.
Oh, it was that.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
them.
Oh,
That's
it was them. That was
Yes.
cool. That was cool.
Yeah, the album's really good. They have a couple other songs that are not videos yet. There's one that's called Ex Mortis, which of course is a Evil Dead song, and it's really good. And if you've watched the music videos, it's awesome because they are somewhat obviously a recreation of the movies, but then there's a little segment that adds to a story, which is about a killer. And in that segment has Bill Mosby, who's very famous for many horror films like Chainsaw Massacre and House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects. He's like the lead detective leading them through with James Janice from Kill Count. Really cool stuff. So, yeah. Shout out to Einstein Kills. I try to buy tickets for me and Frank, but they are not around here. So,
Rip. Literally.
Shout out to James A. Janice.
Shout out to James A. Janice and his Chelsea. Like Chelsea as well.
Yeah.
And Ben. Ben, who works there as well.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Yeah.
That will do it for the checkpoint this week. That was a lot of stuff, guys. That's a lot of stuff. If you guys like any of that stuff, let us know in the comments if you guys checked that stuff out, or if you guys have checked all that stuff out, or any of that stuff. Let us know in the comments below and what you guys think about that kind of what we talked about.
Yeah,
If
go
y'all
like
have watched Leverage, yell about it with me, please. I
There we
need
go.
more Leverage fans.
go like Mario's Halloween Kills rant video.
Yeah, we got to bring that ratio back.
He's on the ball, okay? If you actually like that movie, I hate you. Anyway, continue.
I liked the video. Anyways, because
it's 32 likes, 59 down likes, 1,000 people
we're
watched
almost
the video.
there. We're
now.
almost at 50-50. We're almost at 50-50. Let's get it.
Oh my god.
50 comments.
Let's go. Hey, it's got engagement. Okay, you can't be mad at that. It's got
the
engagement.
thumbnail's me flipping off the camera.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is true. I thought I did something wrong.